I was speaking to somebody during the week and this prompted this message. The reality is most people are in dire straits. They are faced with a lot of challenges. People have been experiencing job losses. The interest rates have been stubborn to go down over almost 18 months, if not beyond. People find themselves in toxic environments. And the question that comes really is, where do people cultivate that sense of purpose, stability, optimism, and continued growth amidst all of these challenges? And we are tempted in most cases to look outside for someone to come to the rescue. But let me tell you this, and this is the truth that you might not want to hear. Nobody's coming to rescue you. You've got to step up and step into leadership. Because if you don't do that, you are always going to wait and wait and wait, and nobody's going to come to your rescue. The question is, do you believe that you are a leader? It starts there. You have to believe that you are a leader. You've got to identify as a leader. Do you believe that you've got qualities that makes up a leader? And let me tell you, you don't have to wait for anyone to give you permission to become a leader. You do not necessarily have to have been born with certain traits for you to be a leader, because you can develop those qualities to change your life circumstances. So it starts with you. And what I can also tell you is that this journey of becoming a leader, it's a long journey, it's an arduous journey. And once you step into that space of becoming a leader, be prepared to commit to that journey forever, because nobody's coming to your rescue. Yes, we can talk about the challenges that we're going through, like I've mentioned earlier. You can have problems in your relationship. You can have problems with your children, maybe being addicted to drugs. You can have problems of you not being employed after being laid off for many, many years. But the question is, who is coming to come to your rescue? And I want to emphasize that because these are the real challenges that people go through. And we have to look at ourselves, go there in the mirror. And when you look in that mirror, you should be able to see the reflection that comes back to you. It should be the leader that is there, that has been waiting for you to be able to change your circumstances. But then, how do you step into leadership as an individual? Firstly, it takes you acknowledging that you are a leader, as I indicated. You have to dig deep inside yourself and say, do I have the qualities? And the answer is yes, you do have those qualities. You just have to believe in yourself and dig those qualities because they are there, and give them traction so that you can be able to proceed with your life. But when these challenges happen in our lives, the challenge that most of us are faced with is that we are caught by desperation. Now, if you are in that space where you are caught by desperation, you do things out of fear, you do things being driven by self-doubt, you do things because you have a low self-esteem, you're going to be stuck in that space. And that's the space that I call low level of integration. If you operate at that level where you are driven by triggers, by defense mechanisms, you are not aware of your blind spots, then you are not going to get out of that space for you to jump into leadership. Because take it like a force of gravity. If you operate here and it's all fears, it's all doubts, it's everything, these things pull you down. That's why you operate at that level of low integration. But for you to move forward as a leader, you then have to step up and get into the space of flow. And the space of flow is where you are clear as an individual. What are your values? What are your strengths? How do you contribute to society? How are you making a difference in other people's lives? So you cannot be caught between that low level of integration and the flow. Both cannot exist. One should give space to the other. So you need to challenge yourself when you look at your circumstances and say, how do I get into flow? How do I become that person that has been waiting for me so that I can take myself out of the pit that I find myself in? Because yes, other leaders are important in life to maybe give you inspiration, to give you hope. But let me tell you, even if someone were to come and give you inspiration and hope and even resources for you to change your circumstances, those things are not going to work until you step into the leadership fray. It starts with you. You have to jump into that space. There's a saying that I like that says, leaders rise in tough times. Tough times are guaranteed. They will be part of us. And when those tough times happen and you don't propel yourself into the arena to be a player in the arena, then there will never be another time that is going to propel you into your leadership space. Robin Sharma says that tough times push people into leadership, because when everything flows nicely and everything is integrated, nobody's called into leadership. People come because it's easier to lead. Things are just flowing. Everything talks to each other. But when things start to disintegrate, when it becomes difficult to go uphill, people shy away. But that is when you are called to become a leader. And my question to you that I've already asked is, do you believe that you are a leader that you are supposed to be? Because I need to emphasize, nobody's going to come to your rescue. Any form of rescue starts with you. Even if you are in a pit, you need to be able to pull yourself up, even if when somebody extend their hand to you. Let me give you an example. We were at a funeral the other day, and it was a family funeral, and as we were preparing to put my cousin's coffin in the funeral, one of the old men around slipped and he fell into the grave. And I remember my brother going there, and he's not somebody with a big structure in terms of his body. And as he was standing with his legs apart on either side of the grave, he extended his hand, and this guy was not coming up. And this reminded me, as this guy was not pulling himself up, of the words that Tyler Perry once said, that it is so painful to die a death that is not yours. And what he was saying at that point was that he was on a hill and going up, trying to pull another person with the rope, but this person was not also helping him to pull up. And he thought at that point that, what am I going to do? Because if this guy is not bringing his part, I am going to die with him. And that's why he said it is painful. I think at that moment he thought that it is painful to die a death that is not yours. And I thought of my brother at that point when he was that grave, to say, if this guy does not come, yes, he was not going to die, but if this guy is not pulling up, then my brother is going to go down with this person into the pit. So what I'm saying with that example is, even if people give you resources, even if people lend their support, until you step up into the fray and lead your own path towards your own freedom, that is not going to happen. So I'm saying to you, wake up from the slumber, wake up from the slumber and become the leader that you had been waiting for. Circumstances, challenges, whatever the difficulties that we have are not going to go away. But you are there all the time to become the best person that you should be. And I don't have many words today. I just spoke from my heart based on the conversations that I've been having with people who are looking forward to politicians, who are also struggling of how to form a government of national unity themselves. Those people are not going to come to rescue us. We have to step into leadership to be able to rescue ourselves. And when you rescue yourself, the other person rescues themselves. we come together and become a formidable force that is going to change our lives for the better. Until the next video.